My name is Gary Bledsoe, and I'm an independent sales rep with Avon Products. My wife and I have been with Avon for 5 years. Prior to that, I worked in several network marketing companies. My journey began in 1997, and my wife, Lynette Bledsoe, joined me in 1999. We had small successes while working in these companies and made somewhat good money. However, the best thing that Lynette and I did while working in these companies was we became great students, learning everything we could from our mentors. Now what we want to do is pass that knowledge on to you. I want to give you a brief overview of Avon. Avon has been in business for over 127 years and has survived several depressions and recessions. Avon is a company that helps you imagine a better future. It helps you to improve your confidence, and it helps you to take control of your life. With Avon, you can be the best that you can be. They provide the tools and the training to help you to succeed and an opportunity for you to earn as much as you want. This company has millions of loyal customers and a community of over 6.5 million representatives worldwide. Avon provides hope and helps to empower women and a few good men. Imagine making an extra $500 this month. What would you do with it? Would you pay bills? Would you go shopping? This can be achieved with Avon. See, you can set your own hours and become your own boss. Avon is the largest direct selling company in the world with products that are well-known brands. And there are two ways that you can make money with Avon. You can just sell the Avon products and make a lot of money, or you can build a business team and make a lot of money in their leadership program. The first level in Avon is a unit leader. The level after that is a unit leader plus. The next level after that is an advanced unit leader, and the next level after that is an executive unit leader, and the next level after that is a senior executive unit leader. And the highest level in Avon is a national senior executive unit leader. Now let's look at that for a second. The average income for a national senior executive unit leader is about over $150,000 a year. That's more than the average income for a nurse, more than the average income for a teacher, more than the average income for an administrative assistant. And with Avon, you are also recognized for your achievements. You can receive free trips to places such as Alaska, Hawaii, Jamaica, Spain, the Mediterranean, Puerto Rico. So seize the opportunity. And guess what? To get started with Avon, it's only $15. So get with the person who invited you to this call, get all of your questions answered, and get signed up tonight. Thank you.
And welcome back. And if this is your first time on the call and someone invited you, definitely get back with the person who invited you. But you're more than welcome to stay for the rest of the call. And the beauty of this business is what we're going to have with our guest speaker. She's actually live somewhere in the United States driving. She explained to us that she took a trip from Washington, D.C. to take a look at the cherry blossoms. How beautiful is that you can just get up and go? She doesn't have to report to a job or anything like that. She's just somewhere driving, and she still is able to get on a conference call after she spent her Sunday with her family. So thank you so much, Linda, for taking your Sunday time out of your family time. I know that you guys are in the car, so welcome to our Sunday call, Linda.
Oh, well, thank you, Lynette. First of all, let me just thank you for inviting me not only to be a speaker, but also that you open these calls up to reps across the country. We are all very, very fortunate that you and Gary are doing this. So it's an honor to be here, and thank you very, very much.
Oh, you're so welcome. This is exactly what we love to do, to be able to help other people. Because when you help other people, believe it or not, it comes back to you, and that's what we love.
I agree.
Now, if you can start from the very beginning. I'm not sure if the reps, because we have a variety of reps throughout the United States on, I'm sure even all the way crossing over the ocean over to Hawaii. Would you mind sharing with everyone, because everyone's story is so different. How and why did you get started with Avon?
Well, actually, it was Avon Skincare that brought me to Avon. I ordered a product, and it cleared up my skin, and I was hooked. As a teenager, my skin was just fine, and then I turned 30, and my skin was an absolute horrible mess. So I would go from one cosmetic counter to the next in search of something that would work, and nothing was helping. I would purchase these high-end products at the department store and would walk out. I have spent a lot of money, and my skin still looked bad. So I always joke about what's worse than bad skin, and it's spending a lot of money to have bad skin. And in Avon, and it made such a huge difference in my skin. And I couldn't believe I had spent all this money on other products that didn't work, and here this one inexpensive product from Avon made such a tremendous difference very quickly. So I fell in love with Avon skincare, but then when I started looking through the brochure, I saw that they had really a lot of great things and decided to join just to get that discount on my own products, and that was it. I had no intention of working Avon as a business, but once I was a representative, I fell in love with the company. I love this company that we get to represent. The flexibility with Avon really does allow us to customize this business to be a perfect fit for us and what we need and what we want. When you stop and think about Avon gave women the right to earn money before they even had the right to vote, it just shows you just how amazing this company really is. So it was Avon Skincare, to answer your question, that brought me to Avon, but the reason I made this a career is because I fell in love with the company.
That is so awesome. And let me just remind everybody what you just said. You were a customer first, correct?
Yes.
So with a good lesson to everyone that's listening to this call is try to get your customers to become reps. Not only would they benefit from the awesome products that Avon has, but they can also benefit from the income level and the discount that Avon provides for being a rep. So I'm glad you said that. That was so powerful.
Well, thank you. I feel the same way, Gary.
And I think a lot of reps, leadership reps, think they're going to lose out on sales by prospecting their customers, but they don't realize that those customers love the Avon product already. They'd probably be your best representative because they have a passion for the company.
Well, and I have had several representatives several customers of mine throughout the years that they join because I love the skincare. They start using the skincare, and when they become hooked on it, they become a representative for the same reason because they said, well, maybe I should go ahead and join just to get a discount on my products. And, they're still with me today earning money with Avon because the same thing happened. They found out what Avon really had to offer, and they're thrilled to be representatives.
Exactly. And maybe for the new reps that are on the phone or the leadership reps who want to know, I know we get a lot of questions, and I'm sure that you do too. How important do you think it is for a representative to work with their upline or district manager in addition to like watching their pathways videos and training that they do on their own? How important do you think it is for that merger with the upline or district manager?
Well, I would say this probably depends on the individual. But for me personally, I am very grateful that Avon has provided this support. It's all about partnering and developing a successful win-win relationship for all. To be honest with you, I wouldn't be in Avon today. I know I would not be in Avon today if I didn't have that support. I didn't have the skill, I didn't have the vision, and I certainly didn't have the belief. So I think when it is possible, it's not always possible. I know sometimes people have small children and it's just impossible for them to get to trainings, but when it's possible, I really do recommend that reps attend every meeting that they can, that they partner with those who also want them to succeed, and seek out knowledge on their own. I think that that's also very, very important. One of the tools that we have available that I think is so underutilized is the Avon Pathways. It is such an excellent source, and people really are not taking advantage of that training, and I really wish everyone would, because how to have a successful business is right there in that training. And, you know, you can't take all the classes at one time. I've had representatives that just want to sit down and take one class after another. It's a lot more effective to take a few classes and then learn the skills and then put those skills into effect, then go back and take a few more classes, put those skills into effect, and just keep going until you do complete the training. But I think the Avon Pathways is very important. And then also reaching out to other successful representatives, well, like you, Lynette and Gary. I mean, you're both co-authors of the book, A View from the Top. You and all these other individuals who had made it to the very top of Avon program share openly, you know, words of wisdom. There's all these conference calls that are out there. And, again, everyone's sharing openly. So I think with the knowledge that's out there, everyone can truly have a successful business.
Thank you so much. But it's so true, because when I started Avon, and that was just in 2008, there was no, I mean, we were on Facebook, but there was really no connections to other leaders to ask them a question. I mean, not saying to bombard all the leaders with emails, and don't bombard Linda, but there was never a platform of a group or anything like that you can ask a question and see what advice you can get from other Avon reps or things like that. So it's so true. It's definitely the way the access that everyone has to videos, YouTube, the pathways, Facebook, social media. You guys have access to so much that was just recently put into effect, where a couple of years ago none of us had that access that you guys have now. So go ahead.
And in addition to that, it's true what you said, Linda, and I hope a lot of people are really taking notes. And if you're not, the reason why I always say take notes, you should take notes as if you were going to go teach it to your team. That's exactly what I did all my life, and I'm taking notes right now. And one of the things Linda said that was so powerful is try to attend everything that you can. And it was funny because we had a call with a millionaire, Mr. Brian Carruthers, this past Wednesday, and he said the exact same thing after making $300,000 in 1 month. He said the exact same thing. Try to attend every single call, and that is every single thing you can, and that is because it's vital to your success. Would you agree, Linda?
I agree 100%. And you know, I continue to go to meetings, and I always feel like I you know, because we forget things. You learn things. You learn how to improve. You learn how to teach others. So you can't. I just don't think you can get enough training. I honestly don't.
Exactly. I think YouTube is our best friend. We watch so many things. We Google everything and YouTube everything just to try to get motivation and ideas and things like that. Now, I don't know how fast you started your leadership side of the business, but how important do you think that is for maybe a new rep who's contemplating, or maybe a seasoned rep who's still thinking about maybe or maybe not should get into leadership? How important do you think that is, that side of the business is, to put into your Avon business?
Personally, and I feel very, very strongly about this, I personally feel that every single representative should be a part of leadership and building a team. Every single representative. Now, I know sometimes reps, they don't want to be pushy, or, you know, they feel like they're putting something on somebody else. But, you know, honestly, if you stopped and you thought about it, offering the Avon opportunity, it's the kind, it's the thoughtful, it's the caring thing to do, because you can change their life. My district sales manager taught me very early in my Avon career that if all you do is offer someone the opportunity to shop with you, all you will find is customers. But if you offer the Avon opportunities first, you will find some who want to join Avon, and often when they don't want to be a rep, then they will be a customer or helper or know somebody else who might need your services. But it's a win-win situation. You are servicing them, you're letting them choose what is best for them, and you just can't prejudge who this is right for. My family just got out of the car, by the way, in case you're hearing bird slam.
No, that's okay. And, I'm so glad you said that, because that is the message. When I first joined Lynette, and I told her, I said, what made me apprehensive about joining Avon was the fact that Avon wasn't pushing leadership. It wasn't pushing recruiting. And I told her, I said, if I'm going to join you, that's what we're going to talk about. We're not going to just talk about it. We're going to drive recruiting all the time, no matter what. And she said, yes, okay, let's do this. And that's what we need to start doing, exactly what you said. Lead with the opportunity. A lot of people say, well, I'm going to lead with the book, I'm going to lead with the customer, I'm going to lead. No, I'm leading with the opportunity, and hopefully I'll obtain either a recruit or a customer. And that's what I think that we should all do, because I believe in doing the hardest part first. When you go, it's harder to recruit than it is to get a customer with Avon. So I believe leading with the harder part first. And then if they say no, say, okay, great. How about, would you like to take a look at the products and see what it's all about? I know you know about Avon. And then they say, yes, great. Next thing you know, you might have a repeat customer that eventually will become that recruit that you initially tried to get. So would you agree with that?
I do. And, it's just smart business. There's only so many hours in the day. So you can only reach so many customers. Eventually, you're going to have booked up all of your time. So by having a team, you're extending what you actually can do. So it's just a smart way to work your business. But it's also the caring thing to do. And I think if representatives start looking at it that way, that, by offering it and letting the people choose whether it's right or not right for them, that their business is going to do better, but they're also going to be helping a whole lot more people.
And you know what's so funny? Even if they don't start leadership in the very beginning, they know that if you're leading with that opportunity, or even if it's a customer, that customer knows to go back to you rather than someone else, because this has been done before. I'm sure you've heard stories of this. That customer knows when they're ready to get signed up, they'll go back to you rather than go back to a stranger thinking that you don't have the capability of signing them up either. Would you say that that's true?
Right. And, and even when you have offered it to somebody, you also need to go back and periodically continue to offer it. Put those recruiting flyers in with their orders and let them know, hey, by the way, that offer's still on the table, because they may forget if you don't.
Exactly. Exactly what Mr. Carruthers said, and you're saying it too, and we've always said it. Number one, exposure is everything. Number two, fortune is in the follow-up, and that is what you just said. The fortune, not the failure, not the fumble, not the fraud, none of that. It's the fortune is in the follow-up. And then number three, work with only the willing. And that's where a lot of people mess up. They get into the exposure mode, and then they stop. They don't realize that you have to go back to, you have to revisit that person. And I would say anywhere from in the ballpark of 8 until infinity, until they tell you, leave me alone, 8 times till infinity, until they tell you to leave them alone. I'm going to keep following up with you until, like I said, you tell me to leave them to leave, they tell me to leave them alone. And that's what a lot of reps get scared at. They get in the exposure phase, and then they stop. And that's where they need to stop doing that. Would you agree with that?
I agree, Gary. I really do.
Now, I'm sure the next question that's going to come up is, how do I find recruits? So I know every leader does it differently. What are some ways that you've seen successful in finding new people to join your business?
Well, at this stage of the game, I will try just about anything that I think might possibly work or somebody has presented. I mean, I'm willing to try anything, and even if it's outside of my comfort zone. But I will share with you, just a couple of days ago, I was going through past correspondence with my, what I've sent to my team over the last couple of years. And really, you can go back and you can look at, like, we might have called something a different name. Like right now we have Beauty Power Hours. Last year it was an Avon home party. But, what we do really is the same. We're offering Avon people to be a part of our team, earn money, and we're offering them to purchase products from us. So with that being said, what we're trying to do, bottom line, is connect with people and offer them the opportunity, just like what Gary said, first to be an Avon representative, and if that's not right, a helper or a customer, and not worry about trying to convince somebody that they need to do this. I'll hear sometimes representatives say, well, I've been working on her. No, that's not our job. It's not our job to convince people. It's just our job to offer and let them choose whether this is something that's right for them or not. So with that being, go.
Wow, that's awesome. Sorry to cut you off, but I just felt this earth shake in San Antonio because you just dropped so much knowledge, what you just said, and that is so true. So go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Gary, I didn't hear that.
No, I said, go ahead. I'm sorry. I said, I just had to.
Oh, no. Okay. So with all that being said, I'll tell you some of the things that my team focuses on. I love events. And what I love about events is normally once you book an event, you'll get asked to come back year after year. So it can be repeat business that you find at one time, and you'll be able to go back and you'll be able to get that business in the future. I'm also all about blending life with your Avon business. We all are very busy, and it's just like today I was blending having a family, and I had my plan. And my plan was to be home here, and it was like, but I also developed a backup plan. It was like, you know what? We could get stuck in traffic, which is what happened. So I made sure to take, like, the call-in number so that I wouldn't miss this. So blending our Avon business with what we're doing. For instance, if I stop at the drugstore to get a pack of gum, talk to the cashier. You go and you meet a friend for lunch. You can put out some Avon brochures and a sample bottle of the latest fragrance and maybe a really pretty piece of jewelry that we have to promote, and people will come by and they'll see that and they'll start a conversation with you about Avon. You could be at the deli getting a sandwich later on because you're hungry, and there again, you can offer the person making your sandwich the opportunity. And I'll say something such as, do you have anybody servicing you here at this business? And when they say no, sometimes their face will just light up. It's like, oh, Avon, I love Avon. And there you are building that connection. Just, you're hungry, you're ordering a sandwich, and you're blending that with your life.
Yeah.
But
go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I agree with you. A lot of times we want to attract the right type of people into our opportunity. And you made some great scenarios. And I'm going to just add to that. Like, say, for instance, if you're in a Starbucks or you're somewhere where you can sit down, have a cup of coffee or whatever it is, a soda, McDonald's, wherever you are sitting down, why don't you try doing something like this? Take a personal development book with you, a self-help book with you. Take an Avon brochure, whatever it is that the type of person you're trying to attract. You know what will happen? People that are looking for personal development, people that are looking for an Avon rep, people that are looking for positive people, they'll walk by where you're sitting and they'll look over, and believe it or not, that can be a great conversational starter in order for you to be able to expose them about the Avon opportunity. Too many of us, what we do is we go to McDonald's or we go to these different places, and we go there with just our pocketbook if you're a woman or guys with nothing in their hand, and we sit down and we eat whatever we're going to eat, or we get a cup of coffee, and then people are walking by, and those people could be potential prospects. And you're right about that. You have to, what I call what you just said, Linda, you have to be what I call prospecting conscious, meaning like you're health conscious. You watch what you eat, you watch what you drink, you watch how you work out and things like that. Well, you have to be prospecting conscious, where you're always focusing on who is the next person that you can talk to, but you want to make sure you're talking to the proper people. So you want to put little, I guess you could say, bait out there where they'll be attracted to come to you, and that way you can get a conversation started. So I'm glad you said that. That was very powerful.
Well, You're right. And, we'll do customer search days or customer appreciation days. We go business to business. We tailgate. We do the door-to-door. And, for all of these, sometimes people say, well, what are you saying or what do you do when you do these? And, really I'm not about scripts as much as, you just have fun with this. But I know sometimes it's uncomfortable for people in the beginning to ask for that follow-up information. Gary, you just mentioned that. I mean, that is the truth. We have to be asking for that follow-up information. So what we do is we have an entry where they can get $100 in free Avon. So my team will just ask people if they want to enter to get $100 in free Avon. Everybody gets excited because everybody likes something for free, right? So it's very, very easy to promote, and I provide the Avon. But there again, we do this like quarterly, so it's only 4 times a year, and I will purchase products like, for instance, when Avon will sometimes run a promotion where you can have like $125 worth of Avon for $25, and then you take away my discount. I'm really paying next to nothing for these products, but when you put it in a nice basket and you present it, it really looks like a wow value, and people do want to enter into that drawing, but it gives you all of their follow-up information so you can add them to your web office. They'll tell you whether they're interested in being a representative. The survey card I use even asks them what they would do with $500 more a month, and people fill that out. If they're wanting skincare samples, they can circle what kind of their age bracket so that we can offer them those samples as well. So it can give you their information, which really is key in being able to service them and help them. And while they're filling out that entry form, it also gives you a chance to have an additional conversation. Oh, well, when was the last time you saw an Avon brochure? Have you ever thought about being an Avon representative? And you'd just be surprised at how often, well, I'm sure you guys know it. It's like, yeah, I hadn't thought about it, and they didn't join because they didn't know what to do. The person never got back to them or one of those things. But we do all kinds of things. I've sent out postcards. I've ran ads. I've put bulletin or ads up on like a bulletin board as well. Girls in my group are doing home parties and the open houses. I this year purchased Rosemary Kahn's IF program and presented that to my team as something that they could try as well. And the other thing that I'm doing is I'm trying to grow my online presence, which was super, super scary for me. And then I honestly, I just didn't know what to do. So I was very, very grateful that the two of you offered the program where you're teaching people the skills in a very easy to understand manner of how to navigate being able to get online and do some of those things and do them properly. And it's nothing to, I mean, you guys are like in 32 states, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, it's definitely a recruiting skill to take seriously.
Yeah. So far, yes. We're trying to get a rep in each state. We're trying to grow throughout the United States bigger, but yes, it takes time, and that's why we put that together. So thank you for that. There's so many ways, and as you guys have been on, if you have been on any of the previous calls, you'll see that most of the leaders do a little bit of everything, and that's why they're on these calls, because they have a successful business, because they've been open to do a little bit of everything and then master what's successful to them. So, Linda, I don't know how big your team is, but now that you have, if you're a leader, I guess, on the phone and you're starting to grow your business, and I'm sure your business is a huge business, with all of the reps on your team, how do you stay connected with them? Like, what do you do for your team? Meetings or conference calls? What are things that you do to stay connected?
I kind of mix it up. I use email, phone, text. We'll do Skyping if somebody's interested in doing that. When I have a lot of calls to make or information to get out in a very quick manner, I use a service called PhoneBite. We'll have team meetings for the reps that are in my local area. Conference calls, I do conference calls. I'll FaceTime somebody if that works better for them. So it's pretty much again, open to whatever means is right for whoever it is I'm trying to connect with.
And that's how it should be. You know, a lot of times people, in my opinion, they get stuck in what I call one way works for all. That is not true. That is one of the most powerful myths out there. We have to understand that our job is in the service of our teammates. Some people get it backwards. They think our teammates are supposed to service us. But no, as a leader, our job is to service our teammates. So whatever it is that makes them comfortable, we need to learn how to explore that avenue versus wanting them to do it the way we want to do it. Some people, I've heard a lot of leaders say, well, I don't really Skype, or I don't really do this, or I don't really do that. And to me, that's why you never go further and up in your career. It's because you choose to say, I don't ever do that, and versus saying, you know what, I'm going to try to do this. And like a lot of people have asked me lately about Google Hangouts. I'm very, very infant when it comes to Google Hangouts. I don't really know how to do it, but you know what? I'm exploring that avenue in which I'm going to learn how to get better and overcome my fears. So that way, if there's someone that needs me to do a Google Hangout with them, I will, and I'll be able to do it, even if I mess it up. So I think more leaders, what you said is so true, that more leaders need to explore all avenues so that they can truly service their team. And when their team is serviced correctly, they're going to prosper, which is going to, in turn, help you prosper. So I'm glad you said that.
Now, Linda.
You're welcome.
Do you want to add to that?
Oh, I think you just summed it up, Gary. I thought you said it perfectly.
Now, Linda, I know that you've been with Avon for a long time. How has Avon changed your life from having to work a 9-to-5 job to building your own business to change your family?
Oh, my goodness. It has been such a huge blessing in our life in so many different ways. I mean, as I mentioned earlier, when I joined Avon, I just joined to get a discount. I wasn't looking at this as a career, but, not long after I became a representative, during the first 12 years I was with Avon, my husband ended up having to have 9 surgeries. So he was in excruciating pain. He had very slow recovery periods. And, sad to say, when he would be out of work an extended period of time, his pay got cut. So I'm grateful I was able to be there not only for his surgeries and for his recovery, but I was also able to adjust my schedule for, the kids and the activities and the family, and keep all of that afloat as well. My youngest son, when he was in high school, I was meeting with 2 representatives south of where I lived, and I got a call that they were taking my son to the hospital, and he ended up having a concussion, and he fractured his back. And he's fine, so that's all good. But there again, I was able to be there for him and what he needed, but yet my Avon business wasn't missing a beat. I was at the hospital when my husband was having one of his surgeries, and I was working on something for Avon, and I just brought all my notes. I'm right there in the room while he was, in surgery, working on what I needed to be working on there at the hospital. So I've been able to blend trying to be, have family first, but yet earn a significant income with Avon. And you would think that would be pretty easy to do, but it's tough. And it seems like I know a lot of people who want it all, and I feel with Avon, we have been able to have it all. I've been able to go on trips with Avon and take my family. I took my husband. We've been to Cozumel and Bahamas, and so had that time with him. We were able to take my son to Disney World, compliments of Avon and SeaWorld, and my daughter and I went to a Celine Dion concert, which we still talk about to this day, and really enjoyed that memory. So Avon has given me some of my best memories, but they've also been there so that I could do what I need to do for my family, but yet still earn a significant income. So I feel very grateful and honored to be a representative because of that. Did that answer that question?
Yes.
Oh.
You're so right, and I'm sure that other leaders have, many different stories. I know with us, every Friday we try to meet our son, or one of us is there to meet our son for lunch. And to be honest, we're probably the only parent that does that. When we're there, it's probably one other parent, or sometimes there's no other parent. Because think about it, who can meet their son? We can go every day if we wanted to, but we've made that date with him every Friday to be there at 11 o'clock just to bring him McDonald's or Happy Meal or whatever. And kind of his classmates are envious because we're there, constantly every Friday. And when the look on his face, he's 9 years old, when he sees each of us or one of us there, his eyes light up. It's like, yes, I'm going to see him. I don't have to sit here with that nasty lunch. I'm going to have some McDonald's with my parents.
Yeah, and that's what people don't understand, what you just said, Linda. A lot of people really, not saying Avon reps, I'm just saying people in general, they don't quite understand. It's so funny. I had a conversation with a rep earlier named Julia Colon, and it was so funny. I just had to come out and say it just like this. I said, there are so many people that are still stuck in the matrix. And there are so many people that when they know that there is a matrix, they fight to get back into the matrix if they ever get out. And I said, it's so sad that they don't quite realize that we're not just offering Avon, we're not just offering opportunity, we're not just offering extra money. We're offering them the chance to become free. And that's what a lot of people don't understand, that we're offering them, that actually what we're really doing is when they pay their $15 and they sign that contract, they're signing a contract to say, right now, I'm going to start creating choices in my life. They think it's about an opportunity, about products, makeup. It's not about that. It's about the ability to create choices in your life, and that's what people really want. They want choices, but unfortunately, too many of them are stuck in the matrix, and they're afraid to fight for them. So I'm glad you said that, because that's what we're really fighting for, to have choices. Would you agree with me on that one?
Well, I'll tell you, and I hate to admit it because I have two older children. And when I was with corporate America, I had a great government job, but, I would leave for work in the dark. I would come home in the dark. And because I was really a conscientious worker, I would get piled with more work. And all of a sudden, my day job became my day and my night job because they were having me stay after work. And then the next thing I know, my day job became my day job, my night job, and my weekend job. So I hate to admit it, and I have to, both of my older children, it was like, there's periods of their life that's just kind of like a complete blackout. I mean, like to say, oh, Mom, do you remember this? No, I don't remember that at all. So when my youngest came along, it was like I was older, I knew better, and I wanted to do better. And that's why I said I just feel very grateful that Avon came in, because my youngest, he seemed to think that, Mom was a stay-at-home mom because she was on the field trips. I took him to school every day. I was picking him up, and, it's like that short window when you get him in the car that they'll talk about school for maybe 5 minutes so that you actually got to hear about their day. And but yet, when I put him to bed, I could continue working on my business at night, work on it, when Dad was home. We make it work so that we can build that successful business and earn money and meet people on the field trips that could potentially be your next representative or customer. So we make it fun, and we make it a way to make money.
You know what's so funny about what you said? Well, not funny because we were there. Both Gary and I were working full-time, and I was working full-time. A lot of people don't realize this, but when I started Avon, I was working full-time just like many of you do. But Gary and I did a job fair, and I'm sure if this has happened to you. We were at a job fair on Thursday, and a lot of the people there were like, they looked at the table like, I don't want to do, I'm not going to do that, when they don't realize what you said. This is giving you an opportunity to change your life and change your family's life. It's not just makeup and stuff. And a lot of the people that came to our table that we spoke to, they kind of saw the bigger picture of what Avon can do for their family. I think a lot of people prejudge the company when they see the table and they're like, I have a degree. Like, we were actually excited, and I hope she's on the call. We came into contact with a woman who had a PhD. And she said, I really want to do something with all of my leadership skills. And Gary explained to her, if you have all those skills, you can definitely reach the top in Avon, because leadership skills are the type of people that we look for and who have success in this company. So when people with open minds, actually at a job fair or wherever, when they see Avon and what the potential it can do for them, they actually can, succeed in this business. And I'm sure people like you and other leaders, when they're at a job fair, if we can open more eyes to what Avon can do, this company would grow really, even though it's a huge, over a century-old company, but Avon could be really successful with people with PhDs or no degrees. And that's the beauty of it. You don't have to have a degree to have a successful business. Anyone can come into business with no education and reach the highest level faster than any of us. So wouldn't you agree that this is open to anyone?
Oh, Lynette, I'm sitting here and I'm just nodding my head. If we were on camera, I'm nodding as you're saying that, because you're absolutely right. And the thing of it is that prejudging thing. It's just, that's something that everybody really needs to make sure that they're offering this to everybody and not trying to prejudge whether it's right for them or not. I have a judge on my team. And, the person who brought her in, initially thought, well, I don't know if she'd really be interested. I mean, after all, she is a judge. This is her fun money, number one, but it's also her outlet. It's her release. It's her way of being able to do girly things. So, sometimes people think, oh, that person's a doctor. They wouldn't be interested. Well, doctors oftentimes have student loans that need to be paid off. So, yes, a doctor could be interested. Avon's for all walks of life, just like we have customers that fall into all the different pay scales. So it's just we offer and we don't know what's going on in that household. They might have an unexpected bill. They might have their house, even though they're living in a beautiful house, it might be getting ready to be foreclosed on. So it's just our job to offer and let us know, no, I wouldn't be interested in that, or yes, I'd like to know more. I really could use more money, or I really could use something fun, or I'd love to meet people. People just don't join Avon because they need money. And one of the first things I always try to uncover is, for instance, what their interest is. Sometimes it's like they're bored, or they would like to meet new people in their community, and Avon's a great outlet for those reasons as well. Or get a discount like for me. It can be a lot of reasons of what brings us to Avon. So we just have to offer it to everybody, and by doing that, we're servicing them, and we're doing great for ourselves too.
And I'm so glad you said that. Both of you and Lynette said that. And one of the things that when we first walked in and we were setting up, and I'm sweating because I'm carrying boxes as always, and I'm loading the boxes down. I feel like the Hulk after I finished. But one of the things that I kept telling Lynette throughout the whole time we were there, and a lot of times she goes by herself because I'm with the kids or I'm at home or I'm doing something else, and she's at the job fair. But I told her, when we were there, and we ran into our competition, which we call our so-called competition, Mary Kay. There was another network marketing company, actually the first company I was involved in that was also there. And then there were a lot of other job people that were there, recruiters. And I said, Lynette, always remember, out of all of these people, and I kept telling her this over and over and over, we have something that they don't have. And she kept saying, what is it? And I kept saying, we have a low-cost investment. We have branding that a lot of these people don't have, and we have the ability to offer them freedom. And I said, they may be able to offer them freedom, but what type of price are they going to pay for that freedom? What type of branding, how much explaining are they going to have to do when it comes to those other companies? And it was so funny that everybody that went to see the Mary Kay lady, and I'm not knocking anybody in another company, but everybody that, I have to say this because I'm proud of Avon, everyone that went over there eventually came back over to us and was saying, I didn't realize it cost that much money to start. And I said, well, you know what? Now you realize it. There's only 15 to start with us. You ready to get started? And Lynette was just sitting them down, signing them up. And that's one thing we have to always do. We have to put that in the forefront of our mind, that we have something better than them. We're not in competition in a bad way, but we do have that competitive edge over them, and we have to truly believe that in our heart. Do you want to add to that, Linda?
I agree. I mean, I think you said it perfectly, Gary, is that we just need to think about them and how we can be of service to them, whatever that includes.
So, Linda, if you don't mind sharing, because I know that Avon has so many incentives and stuff, and all of us are reaching hard and trying to strive for everyone. What are your future plans with your Avon business? What are you striving for?
Well, this cycle, Lynette, I want senior executive unit leader, and I want it bad, bad, bad. And probably a lot of individuals that are listening to this, I mean, when I started with Avon, I know I probably don't even sound shy, but I was really, really shy. So, to think that Avon was able to take somebody super shy who was afraid of their own shadow and develop me that I actually enjoy having conversations and doing things with other people, it's just great. I just think it's just a wonderful opportunity for everybody. But my goal is to make senior this year. I already have a reward in place. I'm wanting to go take my family to Hilton Head when that happens. And I recommend that to others. It doesn't have to be something as big as Hilton Head, but, this has been a long-term goal, and this is something that I really want, so that's why we've attached a big prize to it. But, you can set a goal with Avon and say, hey, when I reach this milestone, I'm going to have a spa day, or, I'm going to go to my favorite restaurant, or, do something for yourself, because it just makes it more fun. And I just think that we have to continuously, keep putting that fun element into everything that we do, so that we're not only making money, but we're having fun at the same time. But I also, okay, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I said that the other goal that I have this year is I actually would like to double my team sales. Our team sales last cycle ended up at over $1 million. They were 1,129,330. But this cycle, I really would like to double that, and I'd also like to add 100 recruits to our team, which, this is a shortened cycle, so I know it's a stretch. But, hey, dream big, work hard, and, just do the best that you can do with that. Now, on a short-term goal, of course, there's the Orlando convention coming up. So my husband made me a sign, and it says, Orlando for free, are you coming with me? And so I really hope that I'm taking a whole lot of my unit, and we're going to be going to the Orlando convention for free and having a blast and learning a whole bunch.
It's so true. Avon is literally giving us away. I don't know about you, Linda, but I don't remember Avon giving us so much. And the stuff is not hard. I mean, 10 people to get you to Orlando and 2 new candidates, that's too easy not to miss.
I agree.
And one thing is good. You said you had a government job. I had a city job, and I had a government job. And one thing that I did know on those jobs, and I'm pretty sure, you got senior executive unit leader Tawana Lyles and stuff on the call, and they know they also have had government jobs and city jobs and things like that. I know one thing that they did and did not do when it came to you working there. They never rewarded you for doing something good. If they did, it was good job, okay, but they rewarded you when you did something bad by putting you either in the paper or talking bad about you. How reverse is it, and how powerful that reverse is that when you're in network marketing, when you're in Avon, when you're in leadership, you get rewarded for doing something good, for growing your business, by helping others. And when something bad happens, no one really knows about it, because those bad things are a part of the process for you to grow your business. And what I mean by that is sometimes no-shows and people who say no, but to know that you're going to get rewarded for doing something good. To me, that was one of the most attractive. If network marketing was a girlfriend or a girl, I would have married her a long time ago, because that's exactly what attracted me to network marketing, to be able to grow my business, grow my finances, grow my personal development, my positivity, and be rewarded for growing it. So do you want to add to that anymore?
I agree. I agree. Erin, you just have a perfect way of saying things. How can you ever top what you say?
I'm sorry. It's just, these are things that just run through my head, because I like what you said, which is true, to be able to know that, okay, I'm going for senior, to be in, Orlando for free. And, I remember being at my job as a New York City correction officer. My only goal was to, hopefully there wasn't going to be a fight by the end of my tour, so I can get across Rikers Island Bridge. That was my only goal, and to be able to get to my house safely without any problems. Those were my goals back then. But now to be able to say, Lynette, how many more people do we need to get to Orlando? Because, I got to go. I got to make sure I'm there. How many more people we need for this? And to have those as my goals, knowing that all it's going to do is give back goodness, that to me, there's no price on that at all. So I just had to say it like that,
Well, and when you mention the recognition, I'll tell you what, it's just, you're right. So many people just have no one, saying good job ever to them. I have left messages for a team member because, she grew her sales or, she made President's Club. And, of course, I'd get a voice message or the recorder, and I just leave this, congratulations message for them. And I get a call back, and, they said, I just can't erase that. I had to let my husband hear it. I had to let my family hear it. It was like it was their only means of praise. So, I think Avon does a great job of rewarding us and making things attainable. Like, Lynette, you just said the 10 recruits. I mean, if somebody wants to go to that convention and they want to go for free, there's so many ideas that were even shared tonight in all your previous calls. Get out there and talk to people, and you'll be there.
And and like the same thing with prejudging new recruits. Don't prejudge your representative, whether they've been in Avon 100 years or they're just starting today. We recruited a girl on Thursday at the job fair because I told her about the Orlando trip, and she got excited. You never know who wants to go for that Orlando trip. Especially, in my opinion, it's more fun to go on a trip with a person on your team than to go by yourself. So definitely share all the incentives that Avon shares with us, because you never know who's going to go for what. And at the end of the day, that's going to make a new leader on your team if they weren't in leadership, and that's going to increase your team too. So share everything that Avon is offering with everyone, no matter who they are. Just share with everybody, because you'll never know. You'll make somebody that maybe they didn't feel like leadership was the way for them, but with your guidance, you can make a shy person like Linda shine bright with stuff or characters that she never even thought she had, and the ability to grow the way that Linda has grown. So share with everybody, no matter who they are.
Yeah.
Would you say that?
I agree.
Yeah, just to piggyback on that real quick, earlier this week, Lynette had posted something on Facebook. This is to show you how funny people can be sometimes, but not to dwell on it, but just to learn from it. And it was funny. The person had said to her, why would you post that just because you went to, you got recruited, you automatically can go to Orlando for free. And me and Lynette looked at each other and just laughed and said, you know what? They really don't understand the concept of this business. For anybody that's new to this call, you can literally join tonight, and you can go out there and build a small business team and show that small business team how to go out there and start making money with Avon, and you can qualify. Yes, I said it. You can qualify to go to Orlando for free when the conference comes in August. So for anyone out there, understand, don't have the posture, the strong posture to be able to prospect people and tell them, yes, you have the ability to sign your contract right tonight to make your initial investment in your future, and I'm going to show you how to build a small business team in which they can go out and make some extra money, and you will qualify for a free trip to Orlando in August. Would you agree with, is that good posture to tell new people not to be afraid but to go ahead on and talk to people, Linda?
Oh, not to be afraid at all. And, the thing of it is that, it's always more fun to do activities with others. Just like Lynette said, it's fun to go on these trips with our downline. If somebody on the call does not have, somebody to go out and talk to people, somebody to go looking for new business partners with, offer to take your girlfriend to lunch for going out with you for an hour or two. Find somebody in your district who's also wanting to earn that trip, and be responsible to each other that, hey, we're going to go every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 1 to 3:30, and this will be, we'll do business to business on Monday, we'll do a tailgating event on Wednesday, and set up your plan. And let your district sales manager know that you're wanting to go. So there's all these people to partner with and say, hey, I really want this. But when Avon comes out with these incentives, my biggest tip would be, hit it hard from the very, very beginning so that at the very end you're not stressed and sweating whether you're going to, be able to go. I had a representative Avon had done a cruise. They gave away a cruise. And this poor girl ended up missing the cruise because one person didn't pay for a $50 order. It was just absolutely horrible. But we all learned very, very valuable lessons from it. It's like when they come out with these, incentives, hit it hard in the beginning so that we're not having to, do flip-flops at the very end.
Exactly. And you gave a good idea. I never thought of taking out a girlfriend if you have nobody to go out with and take her out to lunch. It's funny. That's a good idea because that girlfriend probably will see how much fun you're having, and she'll probably end up joining your team anyway because she's going to see the excitement of how you feel and passion for the business. So that's a good idea. I never heard anybody share that one. Thank you.
No, you're welcome.
Yeah, exactly. And that, it just all boils down to one thing. Be creative. Be creative in your methods. Like I was speaking with Miss Julia Colon earlier, and I was just saying, one thing that we have to do that most representatives need to grasp, they need to really truly grasp it, is that you got to show that prospect. Your job is to ask that prospect indirectly or even your teammate, why is it powerful enough for me to be on your team? Why is it powerful enough for me to follow you versus following another Avon rep? Why? Because you want to show that creativity, that incentive-driven. You want to drive it hard and fast in the beginning. And like Mr. Carruthers always says, create that team culture up front early because that is what makes people stay. I always say, and I've heard this a lot of times, people will quit on a boss way quicker than they will quit on a friend. So you want to make sure you're a friend to your team first, your teammates, and that way they won't quit on you as fast. Do you want to add to that, Linda?
Well, and that's true. I mean, as a team, you're a union of one, and that's just like even on my, not only with my team, but I know that there's a representative in my district. She's not on my team, Susan Doss. I wish she was. She's an incredible representative, but she does all the right behaviors as well. And we've been trying to schedule a date for the two of us to go out. We're not on each other's teams, but we're going to partner together, for both of us to go out and build our businesses as well. So again, there's so much support that you can get in your district by just saying, hey, this is what I want. Who else has the same goal, and then going together. You don't have to do all these different things. Find things that you enjoy and just do it a lot if you're not wanting to do a variety of things. What's working, go out there, try something. If it's not working, you might just have to tweak it. When we were doing the free, giving away the free Avon, people would be coming out of the grocery store and we'd be saying, hey, we're having a customer appreciation day. Would you like to, I think I was saying, would you like to sign up to get the free Avon? And nobody was filling out the card. And it was like, okay, that's not working, but I know this idea should work. And then I said, would you like to register? Well, again, the word register, people feel like it's some type of commitment, I guess. Then all of a sudden, we kept doing it, and we said, hey, would you like to enter our drawing? And there's the key. The word enter, it made the person that we were talking to feel more comfortable, and the slips started getting filled out each and every time. So, try an idea. If it's not working, keep working it and tweaking it until you adapt it to be right for you.
And thank you so much for sharing that. Wow, that was a golden nugget right there. So write that down, guys. Now, the hours always go by so fast. Is there anything that you want to share that maybe if you would have knew when you first signed up with Avon, any advice that you learned over the years that you want to share with everybody before we close the call?
Well, I'll tell you, I'm the turtle. That's what I said. When I make senior executive, now I have this new level to go to. Once I make that level, the national, but I'm the turtle. I'm not the hare, that made that cross that finish line, but I am the turtle because, we have our goals, we have our dreams, and we don't quit. And anybody who's read the book that you guys are in, Lynette, knows that every single one of you senior executive unit leaders, have a common theme. Nobody quit. There's not times where it's all perfect, but you never quit. You never gave up on your dream. So I want everybody on this call, more than anything, to not worry about the how-tos with Avon. Those are all skills that we can work on and grow, but you really have to believe in yourself. I had other people believing in me long before I believed in me. But, we're all unique. We're all special. We all have our Avon story, and it's important. So I just really would love for everybody to believe in themselves and really say, you know what, I really would like whatever it is, and have that clarity. Know what it is that you really, really, really want with Avon and write it down, then develop the plan and go after it. And I think, if you believe in it and you put forth some effort and you have that plan, really any goal and dream that you have with Avon truly can come true.
And I believe, and I know that you're going to be a senior and a national senior very, very
See, we've already started the celebration mentally in my mind here, okay? And I've already seen myself in my mind jumping up and down, and I just, I'm on the phone all day telling the world when it happens, let me tell you. Should I add you to my phone list here that I will call when it happens?
And then you'll be staying up till 3 o'clock in the morning like I did.
Exactly.
Ever. But I just want to thank you for taking for sacrificing to the family, especially your family, for sacrificing for you to, be away from them and, stay away from your trip, for sharing with everyone, because I'm sure when you just be fair warned, Linda, that I'm sure you're going to get a lot of friend requests on Facebook. So I can warn you with that one, because everyone, when you go to the event page, they love this call. So thank you so much for sharing with everyone tonight.
Oh, and thank you for having me. And thank you again for all that the two of you do. We appreciate you.
No,
I speak for millions. We appreciate you.
No problem. And when you become a senior, because I know that it's not, when, it's going to happen anyway. So when you become that senior executive, we'll have you on the call as a senior executive unit leader who's going to share her advice with everyone on how she made it to the top. So, and you definitely have to be in the next view from the top.
Thank you. It's on my dream board.
And you can sign your copy for us, because we definitely get a copy.
Okay, sounds like a plan.
And give me a second, guys. We're going to have Derek close off the call. Thank you so much, Linda.
Thank you, Linda. If you want to just, hit star 6, I'm not going to be that long and keep everybody, but I have to give my last-minute wrap-up preach instead of, I'm not going to call it a speech. I'm going to call it a last-minute preach, because that's what a lot of people say that I do. But I just want to just tell everyone that that's the moral of this whole entire, I guess you can say, sharing that Lynette and I do, sharing that Linda did today, is because too many people, and in my opinion, focus too much on the how. And you know how I know that? Because social media is so big now, and I see so many questions of, okay, how exactly do I do this? How exactly do I do that? And to me, like Linda said, Linda summed it up in the most powerful statement. That's why I had to post on the event page, holla, because that is what the problem is. If I always say, if your why is big enough, you can handle any how. You will find out what it is. If your why is big enough, you will handle any how. I remember when I first went to learn how to make a computer, to build a computer, I wanted a computer that would have all the specs that are futuristic specs, I guess you can say, and I wanted to not pay a whole bunch of money. So what I did was I said, I didn't care about the how. I wanted to know the why, first of all. Why I wanted this computer. I wanted to make it. So you know what I did? I handled the how. Guess what the how was? I went on YouTube. I went on Google. I went every place I could, and I found a guy named Bucky who did a 10-part 10-part series in some rural place, and he put a 10-part YouTube video up, and he showed me, Gary, and he didn't know me, how to make a computer from scratch. Some of it was difficult. Some of it I didn't understand the language. But you know what? My why was big enough. My belief in that I can do it. My belief in that if I listen to what he said step by step, I can do it. So when your why is big enough, your how will you be able to handle any how. So don't focus too much on the how. Don't focus on how you need to get the brochures out. Get them out. If you have to throw them at people, throw them at people. If you think that works for you, go ahead and do it. Do like what I would call a scare tactic. Run up in the dead of the night and just throw them on lawns and break out. Drive fast away. Have a silencer on your muffler so no one knows that you're in the neighborhood. Cut your lights off. Whatever it has to be. If you're afraid, I remember listening to Ray Higdon said one time, he was making a joke about it on April Fool's. If you're afraid to talk to people, you know what you do? Get a whole bunch of water bottles. Empty all the water out. Let them dry out. Hang them upside down. Let them dry out. And then put your business card and say, please join me. And just start throwing them on lawns. Throw them here. Throw them there. If you're afraid, whatever it has to be to get these people to join your business, don't focus too much on the how. Focus on the why. Why are you throwing that stuff out there? Why are you running away? Why are you hiding? And why are you giving those things out? Because you want to grow your life. You want to create that choice. You want to create those freedoms. You want to be able to do what you want to do, when you want to do, without anybody having their thumb on you in corporate America telling you what to wear, what type of furniture to have in your house, what type of shoes to have, when to go to lunch. How do they know on your job when you're hungry? Telling you exactly what you're going to eat, whether or not you're going to order from the left side of the menu or the right side where the prices are. Don't let anybody govern you. See, the reason why I joined network marketing is because I'm a lot like Neo. I'm a lot like Morpheus. I don't like people telling me what to do. I want to be able to control my own rules. I want to be able to make my own life, to shape it, to create my destiny. And that's exactly what Linda is doing. She's creating her destiny. It took a person, a shy person, who had a drive, who had a belief, who had a why that was so big. You see, I always tell people that when someone comes and if they come to my house or come to my apartment or come to Linda's house or wherever she lives, if they had the ability, they had a super vision in which they can see things that most people can't see, they will see a WHY in the back on the top of our house that's so big that people will have no choice to understand that we are special, that everybody on this call is special. Every one of us are awesome. Every one of us are great. If we totally believe that we are, if we totally understand why we want to be great, why we need to be great, because there are so many people that are dependent on us. And you know what those people are? Those people are the people, your children, your spouse, and yourself that are dependent on you, and you don't want to let them down. So go out there and understand that if your why is big enough, you can handle anyhow. Everybody have a great night. Make sure you say thank you, Linda, at the top of your lungs. Thank you for giving me a few more minutes just to get into your ear, to give you that last-minute preach instead of that last-minute speech. Thank you, Linda, so much from the bottom of my heart. I really appreciate this call. And as everyone knows, next week we're going to have a call. We don't know the title of it, but we will have a call, and we're going to let you know what it is soon. And then on the 27th, we're going to have Executive Unit Leader Sherry Lynn Calderon, who, hit the senior before and is a powerful speaker and shared the stage with Lynette and I plenty of times. And she's going to come and she's going to give you so much knowledge that she shared in the past on April 27th. Make sure you get on there. Make sure you get on these calls. Make sure that your percentage of being on calls is higher than your percentage of missing calls. I guarantee you need to be in the high 95, 98 percentile to 100% if you seriously want to build up a massive empire in this network marketing, Avon opportunity leadership that is so awesome. So I'm going to unmute the line and everybody say thank you, Linda, and have a great night.
Thank you, Linda. Thank you, guys. Loved it. Thank you, Linda. Love you all. Thank you.